Check, check.
Good morning, Deepak. I think there is some issue on the audio voice.
Issue on?
Yeah, now I can hear.
ഇപ്പൊ കേൾക്കാമോ?
Okay, can.
ഓക്കെ. മുകളിലേക്ക് ആക്കണ കുറച്ച് മുകളിലേക്ക് ആക്കണ ക്യാമറ. ആ മതി മതി മതി. സൂം ആണ്. ഓക്കെ ശിവറാം, ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. ജോബി, വി ആർ സ്റ്റാർട്ടിങ്. ഓക്കെ
Yes, good morning.
Okay, good morning, students of mainly of 47 and 48. Okay, welcome to session 2 of Campus to Career 1.0, the initiative of 21st batch. And we have with us Mr. Joby VC, who is currently based out of UAE. And he will be interacting with us today and sharing his experience and his personal and professional journey. അപ്പോൾ പറഞ്ഞു വരുമ്പോൾ ഈ ഒരു സെഷനിൽ എനിക്കൊരു ബെനിഫിറ്റ് ഉണ്ടായത് ജോബി വിസിയുടെ ഫുൾ ഫോം എന്താണെന്ന് എനിക്ക് ഇപ്പോഴാണ് ആദ്യമായിട്ട് പഠിക്കാൻ പറ്റിയത്. ഇത്രയും നാളെ എനിക്ക് വി സി എന്താണെന്ന് അറിയണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. വടാശ്ശേരി ഉണ്ടെന്ന് എനിക്ക് അറിയായിരുന്നു, പക്ഷേ സി എന്തിനാണെന്നുള്ളത് ഇപ്പം മനസ്സിലായി. നിങ്ങളുടെ ബാച്ച്മേറ്റ്സിൻ്റെ ഇനീഷ്യൽസിൽ എല്ലാവരുടെയും ഫുൾ ഫോം അറിയാമോ? ഓക്കെ. അപ്പോൾ നേവി പിള്ളേരുടെ ഓക്കെ. അപ്പോൾ it is very important that you get to know something or the other. There is always some learning. Last session Cyrilന്റെ ആയിരുന്നു, where it was a lot of learning for all of us, including my batchmates. അപ്പോൾ never a session goes without any learning. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഒരു സെഷൻ നമ്മൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്, ലൈക്ക് ഐ മെൻഷൻ മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ ടൈംസ്, ഇതൊരു ഇൻട്രാക്റ്റീവ് സെഷനാണ്. നമ്മൾ റിലാക്സ് ചെയ്ത് ചെല്ല് ചെയ്തിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കാൻ പറ്റിയ ഒരു സെഷനാണ്, വേർ യു ക്യാൻ എക്സ്പ്രസ് യുവർ ഡൗട്ട്സ്. നിങ്ങളുടെ മനസ്സിൽ വരുന്ന ഡൗട്ട്സ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലോ മലയാളത്തിലോ എന്ത് വേണമെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാം. ഇതൊരു ടെക്നിക്കൽ സെഷൻ അല്ല. പക്ഷേ ജോബിയുടെ ഒരു എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് വെച്ചിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്ത ഫീൽഡിൽ എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്കൊരു ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് വ്യൂ പോയിന്റ് as a professional, അതൊന്ന് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യും, so which you can enjoy. അപ്പോൾ ജോബി, over to you. The mic is yours.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you all. My name is Joby Odashiri Chakunni. So I'm Joby VC, known as Joby VC, Vice Chancellor. I'm really delighted to be here with you all for a conversation. My education journey begins, if I look at back, begins at Vimala High School, Vellikulakara. Then I continued studies at the Christ College, pre-degree I completed from there. And after that I joined those, where I have very good, beautiful, cherished memories still I remember. After graduation, I started exploring career opportunities in Mumbai. I went to Mumbai to find a job. I initially had an offer from Bharati Shipyard in Mumbai, but I chose to work in UAE. I began my career with a ship repair company in Sharjah called Al Shabi Engineering. Primarily got a good opportunity to work in a major FPSO conversion, Sicombo. This was a biggest FPSO conversion of that time. It was carried out in Dubai Dry Docks. they were the main contractor, and I worked as a subcontractor for that job. Where the FPSO Seacom Atlantic, there was a gigantic oil tanker, single hull or single in shell. Tanker has withdrawn from the operation, and they converted it to a FPSO. So major job was that I have carried out in Ilshabi Engineering. Then 2 years later, I moved to Platinum Yacht LLC, where I worked as a piping engineer and mechanical engineer for a project called MY Dubai, which was one world number one yacht of that time. So after the successful sea trial of MY Dubai, I joined JLM Electromot as a structural production engineer. In that JLM Electromot, I have gone through various roles. Promoted to senior operation engineer, where operation engineer in terms of basically look after all discipline. Initially, I joined as a structural discipline production or construction engineer. After that, the role of operation engineer or the senior project engineer in other EPC contractor, where look after all the aspects of all discipline. Then the last project I worked as a project construction manager for a package 4 project, where the project volume was around 45,000 metric ton, were delivered around 8 decks, 3 tyne platform ranging from 7,500 to 9,000 metric ton. Then the gas producing platform and the gas injection platform for the Marjan field for Aramco. Client was Aramco. After completing that project, immediately within I could not get a rest for one day. The next day, I joined on a new job profile, where I joined an ADNOC PMC, where I am currently working as a lead for construction, for looking after the construction area as well as hookup and upgrade of the facilities. So this is the current profile. It's a brief about me, my journey, and I have gained and learned and continue to explore a world of knowledge. Still, I am learning. So I would like to share this is my journey where I started and where I am. So, offshore oil and gas industry, if you look at, it's we will never finish our studies, or we cannot end our learning the curve. It will be always flowing, and we need to keep always up. So with that note, we will move on to the agenda for today. If you have any questions, I am very pleased to take your questions. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next section agenda for the discussion.
Joby, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
സൗണ്ട് കുറച്ച് ഗാർബിൾഡ് ആയിട്ട് വരുന്നത്. ചില വേർഡ്സ് ക്ലിയർ ആണ്, ചില വേർഡ്സ് ക്ലിയർ അല്ല. അപ്പോൾ സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ മേ ബി ഇപ്പോൾ ലോ ആയിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആ വേർഡ് ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്ത് പോകും, ക്ലിയർ ആയിട്ട് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല.
Okay, I think when I used the mobile, okay, I'll try to manage it. If there is again, you have all freedom to stop me and ask. You don't just pass the way you are hearing it. So this is to all the team who is listening. Am I clear now?
ലൗഡായിട്ട് പറയുമ്പോൾ ക്ലിയർ ആണ്, അത് പതുക്കെ പറയണം. സ്പീഡിൽ പറയുമ്പോൾ ക്ലിയർ ആവുന്നില്ല. വൺ ഓപ്ഷൻ ഇസ് യു ക്യാൻ ട്രൈ ടു, നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ ചെയ്ത പോലെ നിന്റെ ലാപ്ടോപ്പിലെ മൈക്ക് ഓൺ ചെയ്തിട്ട് മൊബൈലിലെ മൈക്ക് ഓഫ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിൽ ട്രൈ ചെയ്ത് നോക്കാം.
Let me try.
എന്തെങ്കിലും പറഞ്ഞേ? ലാപ്ടോപ്പിന്റെ മൈക്ക് ഓൺ ആണോ? ഇല്ല, നീ പറയുന്നത് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല. ഇല്ല, പറയുന്നത് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല. ഇപ്പൊ നിന്റെ വീഡിയോ ഓഫായി. എടാ, നൗ മൈക്ക്, ലാപ്ടോപ്പിലെ മൈക്ക് ഓൺ ചെയ്ത്. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഷോയിങ് കണക്റ്റഡ് ടു ഓഡിയോ.
Can you hear me now?
ആ, എക്കോ വരുന്നുണ്ട്. എന്തോ ഒരു എക്കോ അടിക്കുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ.
I think now.
ഇപ്പോഴും ഉണ്ട് എക്കോ.
Is it okay now? The voice?
ഒരിക്കലും പറഞ്ഞേ ജോബി. ജസ്റ്റ് സ്വിച്ച് ഓൺ യുവർ വീഡിയോ.
Can you hear me now?
ഇറ്റ്സ് മച്ച് ക്ലിയർ.
But I'm getting the audio from. Okay.
ഇപ്പോ നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നത് കേൾക്കാനില്ലേ? ഇപ്പൊ നിന്റെ
Hello?
ഓഡിയോ ഇപ്പൊ കേൾക്കാം.
Okay. I can hear you also very well.
ഓക്കെ. ക്ലിയർ ആണോ? എനി ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ്?
Then you should have the more questions because you didn't listen what I told. So I escaped. Okay, please go ahead.
ജോബി, ദെൻ നീ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് ഷിപ്പ് ടെക്നോളജിയിൽ ചേർന്നു എന്നുള്ളതൊന്ന് വ്യക്തമാക്കൂ.
If you ask me, that is a very difficult question to answer right now. Basically, I joined Ship Technology from after pre-degree. I wrote entrance for Kerala engineering. Then I got admission in Thrissur Engineering College. But meanwhile, I come to know Mr. Prashant PG and Ajit PJ joined here. And in our college, we got a very good built-up of our department. So I got attracted and I came and joined there. After that, then initially I thought that it's not my field because a lot of drawings to be managed, to be done, and also now, thanks to the technology, it's advanced. So there is no more drawing by hand. So still now I'm enjoying it. So basically, it's not a from the school days or from the college, even not from the pre-degree days. I never thought about this department, or I never knew about this department. But if I remember correctly, I submitted my application on the last day of the CAT exam, or the application form to be filled. So I would say it's accidentally I got to join here, or instantly I got to join here. Then now after joining here, I really enjoyed the campus life over there. That was very good memories about to me in my life. I think I try to answer myself.
കുറച്ച് മെമ്മറീസ് പറയൂ.
Memories, then this section will not be enough. There are a lot of memories. However, I was a person. If I take a span in my college days of 5 years almost. Okay, so 2001 passed out. So what I remember is I was the person got first in admission to or hostel room, managed to get first hostel room in Siberia, room number 50. But when I joined there, we to me, Shabib, Binish, Jean Julius, and Caesar, all together assembled together at the department and decided to take a accommodation over there. But there was no hostel facility to the beginner for the starting during start. So we took a flat there and we stayed over there. So 2 months, the welcome. So welcome treatment. And so I have gone through very heavily through that treatment. Then after everything is over, I watched what I watched is it was very light level to the day scholars, but more to the those who are staying nearby. So I have gone through everything, and I got a room in Siberia. But after the freshers day, I became a day scholar. So that is the one thing. So I started enjoying the journey from long journey from Chalakudi to or my native place to department, which gives me a good memories. So like this, if I remember, there are many people like me start of a journey at 5 o'clock to come to office. Sorry, to come to the department and reach the department maybe half an hour late, 9:30 or 8:30. So, but it was giving a good memory as well as and I used to stay there in hostel some days, but not during the exam because during exam I am not comfortable seeing others studying. So I used to go day scholar again and come for the exam. So this is some of the memories I would like to share with you. Uh, I think you have got the points. Huh?
Okay, any questions?
Feel free. You can ask any media, not issue. And this type of memories when you ask your mother tongue makes very well. So
They want to know what was your nickname in college.
that you can brief it. My nickname was Kala.
Kala Jobi.
Okay, so the person who's standing there is behind putting that nickname. However, he is asking me to introduce myself. And yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I think with that we will move on to our agenda for the or key points what we are going to discuss today. Okay, I think I am here. You will not ask
Ask
me
me
to.
to.
I'm audible, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Today section we will explore how EPC projects are planned and executed for offshore oil and gas industry. That's first section. Then we will firstly we will go look at a small video clip which shows a EPC life cycle, how a good planning and teamwork and smart decisions on time can make a big difference. So we'll go to that video. I think you will be enjoying it. And the next thing is we will go through each part of the EPC process in simple terms. I will not brief much because of the time constraints. So you can see how it all connects from the start of the project and till the installation. The next we will review the parts of the just like our introduction to shipbuilding. We'll look at the parts of the jacket and top sets and how it is designed and the purpose of that and built and how it is built and installed. Then we will go through critical roles in construction management and how it is important and who does what and why each role is important. And we will also discuss some of the leading EPC companies in the Middle East towards the last. And finally, we will have a Q&A session so that you can ask anything about what we discussed. I will be try my best to explain you. So today you can see start with this. I have shown picked one photo of the platform. You can see. I think my cursor you can see or Deepak?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So this is the deck or top side. You can see where basically all the equipments and all the functions are being executed. That means all equipment. It's a house for we can say our compared with our house. It's a house for the plant. It's a house for containing all the equipments. Okay, so you can see the crane on the top, and this is we can see on the top is the GTG gas turbines, and you can see HVAC equipments and various managing equipments, and you can see on the next deck level below is the production equipments or process equipments, which is very crowded over there. And the next the top deck level we used to call as upper deck or main deck, different nomenclature, and below is mezzanine deck and the cellar deck. So all these are is the place for the occupying the equipments. Okay, then deck has got a function to transfer the load, the live load and the equipment load, all the loads to effectively to the foundation, means or the pillars. The pillars is basically the jacket and pile. So deck has got a deck members transfer all this load to distribute all this load to the jacket. Okay, so you can see the deck on the top and the bottom is the structure is called jacket, and you can see the here this is the boat landing, or this I would say it's not boat landing, it is the riser guard which guards the riser which is a pipeline which goes to the subsea to provide a guarding from the nearby vessel movement. So on the left side you can see the boat landing. Okay, and this is a bridge which connect to the flyer Flare is the facility to ignite and burn off all the unwanted gas on the platform. And there is riser and J tubes, which is purpose is the riser purpose is to export or receive the crude from the different facility. So we'll go in detail coming slides. I think with that I will go to the next slide. So we'll go to the value moment I have picked. So I will play it for you.
Once upon a time, a turtle and a rabbit had an argument about who was faster. They decided to settle the argument with a race. The turtle and the rabbit both agreed on a route and started off the race. The rabbit shot ahead and ran briskly for some time. Then, seeing he was far ahead of the turtle, he thought he'd sit under a tree for some time and relax before continuing the race. He sat under the tree and soon fell asleep. The turtle, plodding on, overtook him and soon finished the race, emerging as the undisputed champ. The rabbit woke up and realized that he'd lost the race. The moral of the story is that slow and steady wins the race. This is the version of the story that we've all grown up with. But our version of the story continues. The rabbit was disappointed at losing the race, and he did some thinking. He realized that he'd lost the race only because he had been overconfident, careless, and lax. If he had not taken things for granted, there's no way the turtle could have beaten him. So, he challenged the turtle to another race. The turtle agreed. This time, the rabbit went all out and ran without stopping from start to finish. He won by several miles. The moral of the story? Fast and consistent will always beat the slow and steady. It's good to be slow and steady, but it's better to be fast and reliable. But the story doesn't end here. The turtle did some thinking this time and realized that there's no way he can beat the rabbit in a race the way it was currently formatted. He thought for a while and then challenged the rabbit to another race, but on a slightly different route. The rabbit agreed. The turtle and rabbit started off. In keeping with his self-made commitment to be consistently fast, the rabbit took off and ran at top speed until he came to a broad river. The finishing line was a couple of kilometers on the other side of the river. The rabbit sat there, wondering what to do. In the meantime, the turtle trundled along, got into the river, swam to the opposite bank, continued walking, and finished the race. The moral of the story? First, identify your core competency, and then change the playing field to suit your core competency. The story still hasn't ended. The turtle and rabbit by this time had become pretty good friends, and they did some thinking together. Both realized that the last race could have been run much better. So, the turtle and rabbit decided to do the last race again, but to run as a team this time. They started off, and this time the rabbit carried the turtle till the riverbank. There, the turtle took over and swam across with the rabbit on his back. On the opposite bank, the rabbit again carried the turtle, and they reached the finishing line together. Both the turtle and rabbit felt a greater sense of satisfaction than they'd felt earlier. The moral of the story? It's good to be individually brilliant and to have strong core competencies. But unless you're able to work in a team and harness each other's core competencies, you'll always perform below par, because there will always be situations at which you'll do poorly and someone else does well. Teamwork is mainly about situational leadership, letting the person with the relevant core competency for a situation take leadership. And that is the end of the story.
So with the basically what I trying to say here is it is not the individual effort help on the EPCA projects. The teamwork for the successful completion of the project is very much important, and we will be doing better because we will be identifying the core competency of the each personnel. When you become a senior level people, you will have to always look watchful of competency of the others and utilize to the benefit of the projects. So with that note, we'll move on to the next section, which is basically a brief introduction to EPCA process in oil and gas projects. I think you can see the slide here.
Yeah, the text is a little bit small. Text കുറച്ച് ചെറുതാണ് വായിക്കാൻ ഇത്തിരി ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ട് ആണ്. ഒരു സെക്കൻഡ് സ്ക്രീൻ ഒന്ന് വലുതാക്കാൻ. 1 second.
I'll read it for you, not issue.
Okay.
Start with the project management. The project management basically provide overall leadership and manage the client communication. Basically, they are the backbone of the project. And basically, the project management calls means the team is the project managers, project directors, cost control managers. They are the core managers for the project, and basically they manage the client communication and ensure timely decisions and reporting are done to internal stakeholders of the contractor as well as to the company. So they are the face of the project. Okay, that's what it is, project management team. And under their supervision, there is the top 4 or 5 is basically core PMT roles. Next comes the cost control and planning. What they do is on the process is build schedule, which liaison with all the department who involved on the project execution, and control budget and monitor progresses and provide decision making when there is a change management is required. For example, we have set everything for the project a particular way, and we want to change anything. They will give the heads up to the team what is the pros and cons. Okay, so that is where we are the function of the cost control and planning. Next is the QHSE on the project. It is a two function, QA/QC and HSE. QA/QC ensure the qualities through the inspection, and they develop the ITPs, means inspection text plan, and welding and NDT the procedures, and means the procedures basically, and NDT plan and dimension check plan on the project, and complete documentation for the vendor packages. They compile and submit the complete documentation for the vendor packages as well as the construction completion certificate. So on HSE, what they do is basically they safeguard the entire team through various HSE procedures. They protect the workforce and environment through safety systems and risk assessment. They will facilitate the risk assessment.
Joby, what is HSE full form?
HSE is health, safety and environment. So when you go to EPCA or any industry of the established contractor or company, you need to be very careful of this HSE function and QC function. You cannot be ignorant. You should be fully aware of it, because they themselves is only administrating the HSE and the QC function, but however ensuring on a project the quality management is the core responsibility of the team of the discipline or the department. Their own quality they have to demonstrate it. However, these are the people who just monitor it, and if there is any down on the quality standards or any violations, they will report it, and we will have to do the corrective action and implement that corrective action to streamline the process. So that is about the quality. And HSE, to take care of health and safety and environment, the core responsibility lies with the function only. These people are only a reporting function, or as reporting the statistics to the entire team. So with that statistics, will help the other team to manage or make the way forward to improve the process, or some of the action to be taken to the streamline if there is any incident or near misses. Near misses means activity accident is not happen, but very likely to happen it. So these are the key words you should know it about it when you go for interview and other things. People will be highly focusing on the now the entire industry is highly focusing on the safety of the people who works in the projects. I think I answered. If you have any particular question, I'll.
Yeah, continue.
Okay. Now goes to engineering. Engineering is the function who develop the design and modeling of the structures, modeling of the entire project or the top site, and they develop that specification to the client specification, and develop the drawing and get the approval of the drawings, and issue to the different stakeholders of the project, and they will ensure it is aligned with the conceivability to smooth execution of the project. So basically they are the backbone for framing the project, and with that foundation or giving the good foundation to the project, and the rest of the team has got the only to execute that project into the reality. So next is the procurement. Procurement is basically they do collect the data from data is MTO from engineering, and requisition for the from engineering, and for the material and equipment. This is called as packages. So it is a collection of data. So we are calling it as a packages, and they manage the vendors and issuing the contracts, and ensure expedition effort to issue the get the material on time to the site. So basically they are the administrative of the administrative people to execute the procurement process, but the data and management, package management will be done by a team from engineering assigned under procurement cost center. So basically engineering and procurement will work hand in hand to ensure the material are delivered to the site on time and without any delays. And when it comes to the subcontractors is basically the coming to the picture where we don't have a capability to do some of the work in the yard or in the EPC process. For example, if it is the capacity of the yard is good enough to do a load out, it will be done in-house. If not, they will go to the subcontractor department to float inquiry and get service from the specialist for that job. So some of the other specialized job like FB coating means it's a fusion coating, which is normally the contractors are not having the in-house capability. Those works also subcontracted. Then logistics of some of the works, for example, transportation of the some of the module from between the work location. These things are subcontracted. Then another areas for the subcontract is engineering studies. For example, there are some cases the client itself demand for the specification demand for the third-party studies. So these are being subcontracted. Then another area we can say is the architectural works. Basically, most of the contractors will not keep in-house capabilities for doing the architectural work. So they will take the service from other specialist services. So this is about the subcontractors. So what is the difference between subcontract and the project procurement? When it comes to a service, it goes to the subcontract, and when it is a material or something to be procured, it goes a vendor, and it is a procurement. So basically the differentiate is if there is a heavy involvement for the establishing the standard within the manufacturing facility, same like the contractor does in their facility, to be implemented on the manufacturing the things or material, we will go for subcontract, where we have a very detailed audit of their manufacturing process and their HSE statistics and quality performance, and of the previous data we will be evaluated. After that only we will approve the subcontract. So this is a high level difference between the subcontract and the procurement. So the below remaining teams are basically execution teams. Construction team, I belong to construction team on APC project. So where we have we execute the fabrication in the yard and manage assembly, installation, all site activities. So next is the mechanical completion, comes under umbrella of the construction team. Verify the system readiness by checking all installations of equipment and all the piping systems and cable laying and termination and testing all are done correctly, and there will be a joint inspection. From that joint inspection there will be punch list. All these punch list will be closed out and will be handing out the pre-com team. The pre-com, I think if you look at the pre-com team, they carry out the activities just before the commissioning, real commissioning will start. For example, if the piping systems are installed, so these systems are need to be free of the dust and clean. So it will be go for the flushing and cleaning, and finally it is integrity to be proven. For that we do the leak testing of or the pressure testing of the piping systems before the energization or handing out to the real commissioning. So next is the load out and transport team, which is basically, if it is an in-house load out, they do the load out with the in-house capability for using the crane or the SPMT trailers or the skidding method. So we'll go through that detail later. So next is the installer. So the whatever construction team, the mechanical team and pre-commissioning and load out comes under umbrella of construction team on majority of the contractors. With that, if you are clear, we will go to the installation process. So basically, installation team, basically we perform the heavy lift and pile driving, transport the cargo, the structures to the offshore, to the location, and do the installation, lifting, or different operations are there. We will come to later stage and we'll discuss about that. And the remaining after installation, the tie-in to make the platform safe for the access. So this will be done by the installation team. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, I am Ashish from the 47th West.
Okay.
I understand from my understanding, a project from the idea is born to being completed is completely managed by the project management team, right? So, and this project management team needs to communicate with all of these listed teams as well, who are specialized in their own field. So, is it necessary that the project manager also should be well versed in all those activities, or is it fine if he?
Very good question. It is basically most of the project managers will be specialized in a core, will have the core competency in the specialization. However, he is equipped with a good team. Means I would say I have mentioned in the top the team is, if you look at the top 5 is coming under top 5 in the sense listed in the list will come under direct under his umbrella. The remaining work, the scope will be executed by the function. So he has got a responsibility to connect between these. Okay, that's first thing. Second thing is definitely the project manager should understand what the others are saying. And in the beginning, I have shown the clips. It is not the individual. Basically, it's a teamwork. So he will get the different options if he has encountered with any of the issue on the project execution. He will get the different option to solve the issue. Only thing is, you will have to select the best one to suit the project and to correct that process. I think I answered. If required more clarification, I'm willing to do that.
So I was thinking just having a basic idea about everything is fine, or a detailed idea is.
I'll brief with my current project. My project manager is coming from process discipline. Okay, so it is not he, it is she. Okay, so she when we have a meeting, she start with the meeting, and when some issues are being told in the meeting, that time she is closely observing what we are talking here. Then after that, he used to pick it from the people who talks the problems, and he pick the what is the real issue. Then she start questioning what is why it is happened that way, and we understand the issues and give the direction. So basically, the project manager and the directors need to give only direction to the team, but the core competency is with the team who is formed as a team, as a project team. So basically, he doesn't need to be knowing everything, but he should be able. Normally, he will be able to, or she will be able to understand what others are saying, and best part, he should be having a very good listening skills. Okay, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, understood, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any more questions? Yeah, with that, we will go to the commissioning and the startup team and handing over team. Basically, the commission team do the first analyzation of the system and performance test to ensure before starting of the entire process. Means they test the end. They will basically what we do is we will disintegrate the entire system into subsystems, and we do analysis of the subsystems and checks the all functions are working fine. Then we'll do next step by step. It will energize with the next step and get it energized and verify it, and stage by stage from the field side to the main distribution system, it will be tested. So this work will be being carried out by the commissioning team. Once the successful test, everything is done, they will give the thumbs up to the startup team and the company. That this is the area the company or the end user come into the picture, taking the lead. Till then they were observing and verifying all the contractor is doing is right or not, or up to the specification of the client and standards and standard working practices. Now onwards, they will take over the projects from the EPC contractor, and they do the energization of the project or the facility. So for that, there is a team to assist the client side. It's called startup team, formed from commissioning team with their core experience. They will be assisting the company for client for doing the final energization with integrating with the live platform. So do you have any question about the last part or any part
Joby,
of-
ഒരു question. ഈ
good.
കമ്മീഷനിങ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ കൺസ്ട്രക്ഷൻ സ്റ്റേജിൽ ഉണ്ടാവില്ലേ കമ്മീഷനിങ്, അതോ ലോഡ് ഔട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് മാത്രമേ കമ്മീഷനിങ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുള്ളൂ?
Good question. Basically, on the good EPC contractor will try to demonstrate or verify everything before the loadout. That is the first best way to do it. As that's a question raised by Mr. Pramod. So what we do is same operation. What we the thing is, whatever we do at site at the location is the real sign off with the company. However, we will do everything in the before the loadout. All this what I have mentioned from the pre-com and commissioning activity, not the startup, all will be done in the yard itself, and we'll have a sign off internally within the contractor, QC team and pre-com team and construction team. The sign off is achieved. After that, there will be mechanical completion certificate will be issued. With that, we will move on to the field. That means it's already proven. So it is, yes, your question is correct. There is a section in the yard itself, in the construction phase itself. Any more questions?
Yeah, you can continue.
So on the right, the top corner is the first project I worked. This is FPSO Sicombo. I got it from the internet, so I just shown it. So this photo is on the slide is a jackup rig. Its functions to do a drilling operation at offshore. So these drill rigs will drill the wells and with installing the conductor and installing all the necessary valves for the making the wells safe and leave the field, and it is hand over to EPC contractor to install the deck and jacket on top of it. So there is two ways we used to do means the EPC work or this offshore project is being done. One is with the pre-drilled wells existing, and other one is install the jacket and deck on the field and hand over for drilling, and drilling team will install the do the drilling work, exploration work, and installing all the subsea systems. So this both ways. I would say the first way is the more challenging for the EPC contractor, because we have to do a slip over installation of the deck over a existing facility. The thing is, if anything damage to that item, is very difficult to change it, as well as if you look at the cost to change it is very high. So we'll have more stringent controls for the installation for the jacket and deck above existing well. So this is a typical, I have selected a photo of a jacket and a facility. This is a fixed platform on the right side, where we can say this is call it as a jacket. If we talk about a jacket, what is the function of a jacket? A jacket is same like our jacket. It's protect the piles from the environment loads. For example, forces coming from the vessel movement and waves and different environment in the offshore. Okay, so this jacket is basically integrate between all the piles to transfer the load from the top side to the seabed to the foundation. So this is the function of the jacket. And the top side I briefed before. Basically, it is a house for the necessary equipment and system for the supporting the operation. And it is basically a structure. The function of the structure is to receive this load and distribute this load towards the jacket or the piles. Okay, so it will connect between the piles and the jacket and give a structure to support all the equipments. And just to brief about the jacket, the components, we have you can boat landing. This is basically to access to the platform. So a boat will be moved towards the boat landing. So this is one of the heaviest or the maximum load will be exerted to the jacket by boat impact. So there are boat landings designed up to 1,500 to 3,000 metric ton impact, and the jacket has to be taken care for that same purpose. Then other component you can see here, you can see the pipeline over here. The pipeline goes, pipeline is on the seabed, okay. Then when it rises onto the platform, it has to be taken care a different way, same like a jacket. It has to need all the protection, more protection than the pipeline on the seabed. So this component is called as riser, which brings the oil from the other facility to the tying facility and export the oil from the tying facility to the onshore facility. So these are the function of the riser. The other one component is similar way to the function of the J-tube. Basically, it is for the protection cover jacket for the subsea cables, which comes to the platform and goes out of the platform. Then you can see here there are skirt piles, which is basic, and the pile guides. These are the structure component to drive the pile to the seabed. So during the installation of the jacket, the installation team will utilize this guide to drive the piles once the jacket is positioned on the seabed. The other ones are the you can see, you cannot see over here, but there is a component like anodes, which protects cathodic protection, provide the cathodic protection to the structure because the sea salty environment of the sea. And there is another component called caisson. The caissons are basically tubes which help to lift the water from the sea for the different purpose, maybe for the fire water pumps, also different freshwater maker, all for the living quarters, and also which will help to discharge the unwanted water from the platform to the sea. So these are called caissons. And boat fenders, or we call it as another function is barge bumpers, which is where the boat landing is not there. There will be bumpers which is designed to take the impact load from the boats or barge movement around, and that is basically protecting the jacket from the impact load or direct impact with the jacket structure. So these most of the company demand for this removal type, and this can be replaced. So the platforms are basically designed for 100 years or more than 50 years life cycle. So these we will design it with we can refurbished. So similar way, now the question is, what is your role? So these are all we can say a structure engineer role. So what is our role in this field? Okay, if you look at our core roles, basically these are the structure which is staying in the sea environment. I experience all the environmental loads. So it requires to design. It requires to be designed to endure many years of sea states. Okay, so all our sea keeping properties we need to verify it for 100 years or throughout the life cycle of the platform. Similar to the ship, we will have we will have to verify hydrostatic stability and robust integrity against it, and very importantly, we need to establish a practical way to install a jacket and deck. So I think you have some question over here, or if not, we will move on to the next section.
Chobi, one more question.
Yes, Pramod.
ജാക്കറ്റ് ഡിസൈൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പം ഒരു സ്പെസിഫിക് വെല്ലിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണോ ഡിസൈൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, അതോ ജനറിക് ആയിട്ടാണോ ഡിസൈൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത്?
That's what when we have existing wells, definitely it is designed for those wells, and the clearance between the wells will be taken care, and the height of the wells will be designed. And jacket always designed for a suitable for a process. For example, not only wells, for installation method also there is a strategic design for the jacket. So if the well is existing, definitely the jacket design is totally different. The gates for the conductor will not be installed on the jacket, and it will have to install post installation of the jacket to make sufficient clearance to slip over the well.
ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ കൂടെ, നമ്മള് ആസ് നേവൽ ആർക്കിടെക്ട്സ് നീ പറഞ്ഞില്ലേ ഇപ്പം സീ കീപ്പിംഗ് അനാലിസിസ്, സ്റ്റെബിലിറ്റി, സ്ട്രെങ്ത്, അതല്ലാണ്ട് naval architects can also grow up. You can become construction manager, you can even become the project manager. I have seen a lot of naval architects sitting in those positions as well.
Yes. Yeah, I am coming to that. That slide is included in the later part. I'll answer that side. Definitely what you told is correct. Very minimum team as working on the EPC contractor as a core naval architecture, but based on our 4 years or 5 years experience, what we learned from there, we can easily take many position on the EPC role. Any more questions? Otherwise, we'll move on to next.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah. So this section we will review how the jacket and decks are constructed at yard. So this slide shows the basically how we do a constructability of the jacket design. Basically constructability, the champion of the constructability of the any structure is the project manager, and he has got a team, and as a team the constructability will be done, and not the constructability as per the word is not the responsibility of the construction team. It is basically from the feed to the final execution, the constructability will make a good play in the process. So I am just briefing the jacket constructability over here. First we do the feasibility check, whether jacket can be constructed built in a yard, the proposed yard, based on the space and materials and fabrication methods they learn through or they are aware of it, and the assembly capacity. So these are the things we will check in the very early stage before proposing a location for the fabrication. Next thing is we can call it as a reverse way, how the jacket has to be sailed out from the yard. It purely depend on how we are going to install the jacket at offshore. For example, is it direct lift? Okay, there are certain more operation to be carried out in the yard, or is the jacket is launched and launch assisted installation, lift and installation, or it's a direct lift and operated at offshore. So these are three ways we do the installation of the jacket at offshore. Okay, that is about the orientation of the jacket being during construction. Now next one is installation method. I already briefed. There are three ways to install a jacket. One is a lift installation, other one is launched installation, same like our end launching of ship, and the other one is a lift and place on the water and get assistance from the buoyancy and use the crane to operate it and position it. And all this, considering all these factors, we again recheck whether we can support marine operation to send a jacket vertically from the yard. That is the again checking the yard capacity for crane capacity and space and schedule and things. And last part is the pile drivability also verified during the installation method stage. So considering all these will form a fabrication sequence for the jacket. So this is the slide shows the vertically installed platform at offshore. So always there are some contractor will build the jacket vertically also. I never preferred for it. So the convenience is basically do a jacket construction horizontally, as you can see on the left side. This is jacket is getting. So all these assemblies are laid and fabricated on the ground, and it will be acted, or we call it as a stacked onto the bend row of the jacket, which is also laid on the. So the jacket assembly will start from this. This is called a bend row, which will be laid and fabricated, and these assemblies are constructed on the elsewhere on the ground and will be lifted and stacked using the crane. So this is the method to you opt for the fabricating the jacket. Once the jacket is fabricated, based on the requirement of installation, if it is vertically transported, we will do uprating operation in the yard. So majority of the cases, minimum 3 cranes will be required. There may be cases for 4 or 5 or 6 cranes. Best option is 4 cranes, okay, for the uprating. So we will make the jacket uprated. Then we do all the trial fit of all the loose component to be installed at offshore, and do the trial fit and ensure that everything will fit at offshore. Okay, so on the right corner you can see the jacket is picked up from the cargo barge and just about to place in the final location. So this methodology is called as lift and install at offshore. Next case, the same jacket is constructed for the horizontal. Sorry.
One doubt.
Yes.
Sir, while lifting such enormous weight, how does the vessel stay stable? Because all of a sudden, enormous amount of weight is being added onto one side. How does the stability work?
Yeah, good question. You created a job for you. Okay, this is our job, our core naval architect job. When you do a lift of the any of structure, we will have basically there are a set of document called lifting procedure, then the ballasting manual, and the risk assessment. A lot of documents are associated with it. In that, the ballasting manual will take care of how each stage the ballasting of the vessel to be carried out while transferring the cargo from the transportation barge and to the final location. Normally, it will not be progressive ballasting. Best ballasting configuration will be established in our calculation, and that will take care the swinging of the load.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So normally, if the lift capacity is 3,000 ton, and we limit the lift up to 2,500, 2,200 metric ton. That means we have enough factors to manage this load. So all these stages, stage-wise, the lift load, what is going to come on the barge or the lift vessel on the crane, that's first part, the lifting design. Okay, that will be carried out, and to make the lifting barge safe, we do the ballasting. Next one is this is the horizontal loadout jacket. So the sequence is same like previously explained. The jacket is constructed. Only thing is there is no headache of operating in the yard. It will be directly loaded out onto the barge. So for the loadout, there are 3 processes. One is lift and loadout. Other one is trailer loadout, and a skidder loadout. Skidder loadout means in the yard as well as on the barge there is a skidding path, and there is a structure attached to the jacket, which will the jacket will be sitting on that, and those foundation will be skidded to the barge. So this is the skidding operation. We will see that to coming slides. So next one is, this slide shows how the jacket is launched at offshore. So basically start from the proper ballasting of the cargo barge to get a proper inclination over here. So you can see the proper to break the friction load, we have given the proper inclination of the barge. After that, we do remove all the sea fastening of or prior to that we will maintain only minimum sea fastening, and we'll cut the minimum sea fastening once established the required trim of the barge. Then the jacket will be released from the sea fastening. It starts sliding towards the aft of the barge, and on the
Can you say what you mean by sea fastening?
sea fastening or tie down is a structure which connects between the barge and the jacket. It's a temporary structure which is used for the transporting the structure from yard to, on the barge from the yard to the final location, and which will be removed before the installation. So basically it's a securing fastening method to the barge for the transportation.
Sound disturbance in the background. Yeah, now it's done.
Yeah. So basically it is
The
fastened.
disturbance,
Am I okay now?
it's coming and going. Right now it is very low.
So basically, sea fastening is a connect between the cargo, which is basically the jacket, and weld out together with the barge. So which is used to secure the structure on the barge during the transportation. So all the load sea keeping properties comes on the barge will be taken care by the sea fastening.
Okay, got it.
So on this barge for the launching the jacket is a specialized barge. It has got a tilting mechanism on the on the aft of the barge, which is called a rock ram, which help to launch the cargo or the jacket and detach the jacket safely from the barge with the proper safe distance. So once it's floated on the water, the crane will come and pick the jacket and make it upright with the help of the buoyancy. So the crane capacity is managed with the help of the support of the buoyancy. So here also there is an come into the play. Basically, the jacket itself is will have separation of tanks and attached with the tanks, and the top and bottom of the jacket is sealed, and there is a controlled ballasting of the jacket will take place to make it vertical. Then securing the jacket with inserting the pile through the jacket or separately driven through the side skirt piles, which is called skirt piles. So you can see the jacket is already here with all the piles are first set of piles are installed, and the barge will drive the pile to the seabed. So that's how we make the jacket safely at offshore. This is a typical jacket again installation by lift and upright at offshore. Basically the jacket will be lifted and placed in the water, and with the help of the buoyancy, sharing the weight of the jacket, it will be uprated and finally located on the final location, and the piles are driven and make it safe for the deck installation. So with that we have completed the jacket construction methodology. If you have any question, otherwise we'll move on to the deck fabrication methodology.
Joby, one question. This jacket, you said once it is taken into the water, does the jacket need to be buoyant by itself, or do you have to install separate buoyancy tanks to keep it afloat?
Yeah, that depends on the crane capacity. For example, it's all comes from the design itself, how the jacket, what is the size of the jacket leg, and by sealing both end we'll get enough buoyancy or not to float the jacket in the water. Okay, if it is feasible, yes, there is no buoyancy additional buoyancy requirement. If not, we'll attach buoyancy tank to the jacket to support the jacket to float at sea. So your question is basically there are cases there will be additional attachment as a buoyancy tank which will be disconnected once the jacket is installed.
Okay, so for the jacket to be installed, it needs to sink into the seabed, right?
Yes. So actually, ideally, the jacket need to be on horizontal position in the water. Then you can see on the previous slide. Here, all the rigging is on the top. So the basically the boat, the crew from the installation vessel will go to the top of the jacket and pick the slings from here and connect it to the crane hook. From that, based on the this is basically designed for the lift and place on the water directly, not for the launching. Okay, so from that the lift design is will take care to upright the jacket in the water. For example, one hook will start lowering and other hook will start rising up, so that we can bring the this jacket upright. Same like what we are doing here in the yard, we'll have to do it at offshore, but only difference is there is no many cranes at offshore, so we will use the buoyancy and ballasting to bring the various position to till up to the jacket comes upright.
Okay. One question.
Yes, please.
I'm Harideep from 47th batch. I just
Okay.
wanted to know if we use semi-submersible deck carriers for float on, float off in oil rigs.
Okay, please go ahead.
Sir, I wanted to know if you use semi-submersible deck carriers for float on, float off instead of using the rails or.
Yeah, you means I didn't get the actual question. Sorry.
Sir, semi-submersible deck carriers. Can those be used for the operation instead of using skid method?
For the installation?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are different method we install when it comes to jacket. Normally, what I have seen is basically using the lift only. All the projects where I worked is lift methodology only. But for the means installation on the top side, I am coming to that. I have the slides. We use the float over method. I can explain it in the coming slide.
Okay, sir.
So this is basically quick where how we are constructing the deck in the yard. So these are the pancakes are already laid on the ground, same like jacket elevations and all. It's constructed. This deck is being constructed in two sections because of the crane capacity to lift at yard and stacking. So you can see these are the bottom structure is basically for the skidding operation. This deck is meant for the skidder and load out. And the same steps we follow for the next deck levels and till the last deck level. So you can go through these details. If basically each deck level will be stacked and structurally integrated this deck. Once the integration is done, we do all the process component equipment installation, and you can see this on the top. This is the called building control building. All the equipment which requires a temperature control atmosphere means conditions, we position it in the building, which is air conditioned. So you can top on the top or top of this building, which is called HVAC equipments, which is used to cool the or air condition the spaces for the equipment machineries. So answering to your first question, you can see this photo where the decks are floated over. Basically, jacket is specially designed, and the barge is entering to the slot between the jacket. And you can see here, this is the top side, and this is special designed as you told barge with a slot entry diamond means shape of the barge. Then this deck is already loaded out by using the skidded load out, and this barge will go inside the jacket slot, and you can see the mooring lines, which is basically two ways we do the mooring. to the operation, and which is basically anchor pattern, using the anchor pattern or using the support from the jacket itself. And during operation, all the tags will be positioned to hold on the barge on correct entry to the jacket. So do you have any question?
Yeah, here in this image, the orange color structure is the
This is the top side.
upside.
Okay, so you can see the top, next photo will be clear. Yeah, you can see other photo entry. So the deck has got overhanging portion. So if the deck is supported at the mid section of the top side, and there is overhanging portion, which is the area, means it will go inside, and we do the ballasting of the barge to lower the top side and transfer the load onto the jacket leg and piles. So there is special design hardwares come into picture, which is called leg mating unit, which is the basically control the load transfer to the jacket till it's finally settled down. And the entire deck cannot be stiff or fixed there. So after the removal of the sea fastening, like jacket what we discussed, we'll remove it. There is a this will be almost floating on a support which is called a unit called deck support unit, which is sliding surface. The deck will be sliding and free to move and guide to the jacket final location. So here also we have a very heavy involvement, definitely, to do a barge selection. First thing is barge selection for doing this activity. Then we decide the ballasting during the float over, and design of the shock absorbers to not to have the impact transfer to the jacket legs and piles, and smooth transfer of the load onto the jacket. So the barge selection itself is very specialized job here.
Once the structure is in place, then how does the barge move out?
It will be towed out, or one way is towing out. The other way is using the same anchor pattern to pull it out. So these are the methods used, and nowadays this is also used. This is used nowadays. However, there are fast transport vessel (DP) vessels came into picture. Also can be used for the float over. It can maneuver its own capability and go in and go out, and do the ballasting also. So I think I have answered your question. Whereas there are vessels designed for the float over.
So the what do you call it? The jacket structure which is there below, barge has to go in between that. So the width of the barge cannot be bigger than the jacket space.
Yeah, that's why there is a close interaction between the engineering and naval actors. Very early stage, naval actor has to come into picture. On the bidding itself, we select the barge for the or set of type of the barge, class of the barge for the float over operation. Okay, so that selection is there. Then the width opening of the jacket is also selected to suit the selected barge for the operation.
Okay.
So you can see already fenders are installed here to, in case of a contact with the jacket, not to have the damage to the barge as well as the jacket. So if you look at this float over hardwares in India, Gujarat, one of the company called IRM is a monopoly in designing and designing these hardwares. Yeah. With that, if there is no any question, we'll move on to answering Mr. Pramod's question. Not only, if you look at here, these slides on the left side, if you look at, there are various roles directly we can do on a EPC project, which is core Naval architecture. Support the development of the construction and loadout sequencing, and perform loadout and engineering and stability checks, and validate sea fastening arrangement and design of the sea fastening, and ensure the stability adequacy of the stability during the transport and installation. So these are our core roles we can do on the EPC projects. Okay. Beyond that, we can also start looking at working as a construction engineer, lead construction for the project, and can go up to project manager and project directors. We can already see, if you look at our those who are passed out from here, you can see various roles there already started working for this project. Another field is engineering field. We can become structural engineers and naval architects for the engineering, for installation engineering. Then another area, if you look at the offshore field engineers, means those offshore installation activity, there will be the direct supervising the or carrying out the offshore installation and offshore operations and installation managers. So same like a construction engineer, operation engineer, and construction manager. Offshore installation also has got offshore field engineers and operation engineers and installation managers. So these are the area open to us. We can easily we can get into that jobs. Okay. Then another one is why knowing all these fields. If we have interest, based on our interest, we can go into any levels in the EPC project, and we have already proven that. So there is no limit for naval architects. Basically, the advancement entirely depending on how you position yourself for learning from the entry position towards the progress. So our role is to ensure the stability and stability of the jacket and top sets and modules throughout transport and for the offshore installation. But it will not limit there. We can manage entire EPC process. With this key message, basically I would like to tell that there is no ceiling for us. We are deciding our profile ceiling, so or the sky. So please always keep your learning means curve open, means ask for the doubts and ask for now. For example, when I come from the naval architecture to the current field, there were very limited information available in the internet. But now it's fully advanced. You will get everything in your fingertips. So you can search and understand it. Only thing is you need to get a foundation for it to understand it. So that's what I try to give you. No worry if you not got everything, not an issue. When it comes to, you can easily get these details from internet, or you can ask the doubt to your seniors or anybody available. So I would say, if you have any doubts, okay, first thing is just a message to you is basically the EPC industry is almost same in nature for the shipbuilding, marine industry, as well as the EPC for the oil and gas. So the process is same, but the knowledge what you gain from the EPC execution from the marine industry, you can easily apply that on the oil and gas also. So switching is feasible, but as Cyril mentioned in the first section, you should find out what is your final role, what you are aiming to become. Based on that, tune yourself and do a switching in a appropriate level. For example, become a construction manager and you want to become a lead structural design engineer, may be very difficult. to manage it, because you are established as a construction manager and you will have internal constraint to change or to next role. So this is what you have to look at. So very early stage you mold yourself what you want to become. Accordingly, you try to pick the information from and knowledge from the institution where you are working. And the growth depends on how you are positioned yourself and building technical expertise and gaining offshore exposure and taking leadership and responsibility. If for example, if I got into JRM Ectomode as a production engineer, I could have worked their entire life there as a production engineer. But I started looking at other discipline what they are doing it and try to understand their process. That helped me to take the additional responsibility as operation engineer when it was offered by the institution or the company. So this is what you need to always keep in with message. Keep in your mind. Always be watchful what others are doing and try to learn so that you can be a leader. So next one is the various companies in the Middle East where you can get entry into. These are the company NPCC, L&T, Petrofac, Saipem, Ectomode, Technip Energies, Archtroden. They are mainly on the island development and so on. The below 9 onwards is the Penspan and Wood PLC. All are the PMC companies. So up to 8 is the you can get a direct entry, and once you are established in that field, you can look at the PMC role for the remaining your career.
So what is the PLC?
PMC, I mean to say PMC, Project Management Consultant.
No, PLC.
PLC, it's a that is I ought to explore it. I'll let you know.
Okay, go ahead.
That is the name of means Wood PLC means just like EPCA. I need to find out what is PLC. Okay. So with that, I am happy to take your question if anything left out, and the floor is open to your questions.
Joby, if I understand you correctly, in the whole offshore field, there are any jobs we can do, but there are very specific jobs which only a naval architect can do. Correct?
Yes, that is a specialized job. A core naval architect job is already there. But if you look at the percentage wise, that is a 5 to 10% of the project. Not even 5. It's a 5%. We can say.
But my point was, आज only where can see we can always go into the other disciplines, but they cannot.
Yes, there are cases naval architects train and for example loadout operation and all. Some of the people who learns through the experience working with the naval architects and their internal systems means there will be internal procedures and other things. So basically, what we learned in the college, they have allowed to learn it and do the job. Otherwise, directly they won't be able to do it. I agree with you. Yes, Pramod, anything?
One more takeaway from your presentation, what I found is if you want to become a project manager or construction manager, you don't need to understand all the fields. If you control your team, you can still lead the team and become the top.
Yeah, we need to build up a good team, and basically project manager, if you look at the project manager, construction manager, try to do the job his own. Okay, that is a big failure. Okay, basically he need to assign the job to the right person. So that is his main quality. So if we develop that good enough to become a project manager or construction manager or various managers roles.
ബേസിക്കലി ഇത് തന്നെയല്ലേ നമ്മൾ ഫൈനൽ ഇയറിൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത്? കുറച്ചും കൂടി വലുതായിട്ട് ചെയ്യണമെന്നല്ലേ ഉള്ളൂ?
Yes, yes. The only thing is, for example, I would say welding procedure. Okay, what we studied in material science is good enough to understand that process. So that welding engineer is doing that job, but everything we can utilize if we are thorough. If not, also we can also with that background those who are passed out, we can develop that knowledge and we can understand the things. Then in the similar way, for example, right now I am working on a electrified platform. So main structure is nothing compared to the scope of the electric equipments on the platform. It's a house for the electric equipments. So what we studied in 2 semesters electrical engineering is good enough to understand the process and understand the problems and find out the or understand the solutions and take a right approach. Okay, so as a project, if you ask, can you design a electrical system? I would say same like what you answered in the beginning. Now only Navarathna can do the core that job, but similar way they are the core people for the design, but we can lead the team. That's what it is. So answering to Deepak previous question, PLC is very simple. Where I am working also, I was wondered. PLC is basically a public limited company. So for example, Kent PLC, Kent is an international company, and it is formed as a public limited company, liability limited company.
Sir, I was wondering through this entire presentation that this is the first time that we are being exposed to such a thing outside our syllabus. In our syllabus, there is nothing mentioned about all these things. It might be mentioned, but we have not learned about it. So, without knowing any of these things, if we enter into the industry, then is it possible to enter into this industry with the kind of syllabus that we have right now? I assume we also learn the same syllabus that we have right now. And if it after entering the industry, I think you also might have faced a lot of problem learning all these things from doing. So how did you manage that?
See, I am a live example of answer to your question. I learned only Navarathna. If my CV, if you look at that, there is no other studies I have gone through. Okay, so it's learned through experience only. Then basically, so I told you our syllabus is good enough to understand the process in even EPCI oil and gas. Then other thing is we need to show interest to conversate with the other team members of the project. Then we will learn. So when we end, how I did here is I ended as a structural engineer. So it is same like our shipbuilding. There is all the components made up of steel. Similar way, it is made up of steel. So I thought that I can manage it, and I joined on J.R.M. McDermott as a structural production engineer. That time I have never seen a jacket, I have never seen a deck, even any of the component, and even a installation vessel also. So another thing is what I want to answer your question is, see, when you join a company, the company is not only depending on you. Company has got internal systems. For example, all the works they have, all the major APC companies has got internal procedures. So those procedures good enough to define what a person should do to execute a job. Okay, for example, a production engineer, when I entered there, I wondered what is roles and responsibility of a production engineer, and there is a introduction, we can say the guidelines, which is introducing all the components of the jacket and deck. So they allow us to 2-3 weeks to go through those details, and that helped to understand the things, and then we can see live one outside, we can easily understand it. So I didn't feel that difficulty to get into as a structural engineer. After that, we our friends around working around us like me in the different discipline, I started observing them. So I could, and I related with what I have studied in the during the course. So I could manage that. So similar way, I am sure you also will be able to manage it.
Also, sir, this campus to career program is mainly focused on fourth year us getting into the industry, right, sir? So right now, if you were one among us, how do you start preparing for the interviews, and what kind of questions to expect from companies like yours, and any suggestions and advices on this?
Basically, if it is a naval architecture field, yes, you can get the question from your projects, and you will be able to answer it. Okay. When you have a graduate engineer for the EPC contract, see, you have gone through various trainings and various shipyards. There also, the process is same. Okay. So you relate it with that industry and frame your answers based on that. For example, I have given you brief about the process on the one of the slide. The same slide, different way it is getting executed in EPC marine industry. So where you are gone, even you are not gone through that, you can learn it from different method in the internet and learn it, and try to present yourself. Okay, they know you are not fully gone through it, but the confident level you are presenting it definitely will help you to get selected. Okay, so I am for example, many candidates I was interviewing, as accepting as a contractor various roles. There need to be accepted from the company. So as a panel, we used to interview the candidates. Sometimes very fresh, but we used to make a conclusion. Okay, though 15 years experience is required, but we used to send a dispensation to the company senior management, saying that he is very good in learning, means interest, and he can easily pick it the process. So there will be a deviation will be approved based on the recommendation. So what I'm trying to say, this current market is now a lot of projects has opened up. So getting a technically qualified person already experienced is drying out. Okay, so this is the opportunity for your freshers. Build yourself framework how you are going to present it based on the experience you have in the shipyards or what you learned from internet. Okay, so be prepared and try to explain that way. So once your CV is selected for interview, yeah, you got a good chance to explain the things. That time you can utilize whatever way you learned it. Okay, there is nobody ask, you don't talk about that, you didn't work any of this field, how you are talking. No one will tell. They will be listener. Most of the people will be listeners while doing the interview, that when you explain it.
Thank you, sir. Hi, sir. I am Manuel Matthew from 47th West, sir. Sir, actually, I have seen certain managers who are very calm and friendly to their subordinates, and certain persons who are very strict to a point we are terrified of them. So, sir, what's your approach towards your subordinates, and which one do you prefer and is more effective?
Yeah, managers are, we can say, okay, we have management studies when you go for, but I didn't go. But there are different category of means people. There are leaders, okay, leaders. There are born leaders, and they are good drivers. Okay, there are leaders who's adaptive and listen and assess the situation and take a decision. and there are leaders who very friendly, as you mentioned, and however, when the work comes, they will be very strict on the work, but beyond the work, they will be very friendly. So there are good training available in the internet. You can go through. So that first thing is in that you define what category, what type of leaders you are. Means your nature is belonging to which category. Okay, so are you a driver? Yes, there is a advantage and disadvantages as a leader, as a driver, because they detect and go, and they will not listen to anybody. But however, they will be good enough to drive a project to fast oriented or fast track projects and all. So there is advantage, disadvantage. So if you learn yourself and learn, there is a techniques to assess the people which category they are belonging to. So accordingly, you can frame yourself, your answer, and your working style, everything to suit your manager. Okay, so that is the way you first you define yourself, and with the tools what in that program you can define what type of manager you are you got. Accordingly, you can interact with him. So that will help you to convince your manager.
Thank you, sir. One more question, sir. What is the most fulfilling moment you have had in your career?
Fulfilling moment, personal or on the work?
Sir, both, sir. We would like to know both.
Okay, so this is slightly on the fun part. Okay, for example, when I joined here, like what you told, I also thought I joined as a structural engineer. Then I was looking around. I'm not understanding others what others are talking. So I thought one day I want to understand that also. So I started learning that process and their process, and now I got an opportunity to lead all the discipline. So from the start as a structural product engineer to become a leader of other discipline is actually fulfilling me in terms of and I was just wondering, all the project what I have completed is just handing over to installation team or handing over to the commissioning team, but I never gone through entire cycle to produce the first oil. So now I'm eager to reach to that stage. So that is actually fulfilling in the in a professional life. Okay. Then another thing is on personal life. What I want to tell is I'm good. I think you might have understood from that conversation. I'm very good in giving the advice. So I used to advise the people and get them bored. So they themselves will tell no more advice. I will do the job perfectly. Okay. So that fun part of it. So I used to advise my son. You do that. You do this. Appa, I know this. So please leave me. I'll get it done. Okay, or I'll reach to that position. Please don't irritate me by advising in 1 hour. Okay, so that we used to get from my family. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, please go on.
So my name is Adityan C from batch 49. So, one of your previous slide, I've seen some pictures of these offshore structures. So these can be floating offshore structures also. And there is some heavy lifting equipment like cranes is present in that structure in the top deck. So while performing such heavy lifting equipment operations in the floating condition, the capsizing tendency is too high, and the ballasting techniques which can be used in case of ships can be performed in these offshore structures as well to maintain the stability. And when compared to the structure, the when compared to the ship, the structure is too lean. So how will we manage this operation in this floating condition rather than fixed structures?
Yeah, basically, it is not where we are going to the offshore and just lifting it and experience how it is behave. Okay, it will be all will be proven through the calculations. For example, each stage wise, picking the the deck from the barge and moving to 10 degree to the final destination, and is different stages. The stability of the installation vessel is verified. Okay, so that is basically people are using Moses software. Some of companies using that, and most of the EPC contractor has got that capability also in house. So this that's what I was telling. There are set of for example 10-15 documents to be issued to do a installation operation at offshore. So these procedures and steps will secure the operations are safe. For example, ballasting manual and crane capacity verification, and during the travel from the barge to the final location, it will verify it's not going, the cargo weight is not going more than the load chart of the crane, and for all those things verified. And for example, if a simple principle for the lift is same like a seesaw, okay, it's a balanced. So when we lift something, we'll have to balance a weight on other side. Okay, so that's the way we are balancing it. For that, in the yard, there is a counterweight on the crane, which will be balancing the lift. Same thing we will apply as a ballast on the barge. So some of the tanks will be emptied, deballasted, and some of them are ballasted. So accordingly, this will be. And considering the hull size of the installation vessel and the cargo is being lifted, for example, 3,000 ton capacity crane, a barge, has got close to 10,000 metric ton dead weight for the installation vessel. So this will take care the balancing the weight. However, so a tilt will be managed within the allowed tilt by ballasting it, and the final installation is very precise. So to get aligned, definitely as you told, we need to maintain within the tolerance.
And so one more thing, like can we, instead of doing this ballasting or balancing the weight, can we use any thrusters or like to maintain this?
I haven't seen that, but for the maneuvering, instead of tags, we are using the thrusters. That is I called DP vessels, dynamically positioned vessels. Okay, so most of the one I showed, the lift is on the slide, is a DP vessel. It's got both thruster and stern thrusters and propellers, control pitch propellers, which was helping to doing the operation at offshore, and which will help avoiding the anchor. Otherwise, we have to do the anchoring, and using the mooring lines, it will be traveling towards the final destination. If it is a DP vessel, within the permissible weather, we can utilize the DP mode to maneuver the lifted cargo to the final locations.
Thank you, sir.
It was a very good question.
One more thing, like say this capsizing is too fast or will be progressive way, like if we suddenly lift such structures.
It is happened previously. Okay, during a lift, the vessel got capsized, and there are cases. Okay, the people or the contractor who's not good experience, it's happened, or even with good experience also happened. And I can say there are cases the cargo is dropped into the sea or during the loadout. Okay, means the ballasting was not sufficient to transfer the load between to receive the load on the barge. So it's all gone down, and the cargo displaced from the track, and it is fell into the water. So like that cases are happened. So now the rules and the procedures are very stringent, and that's why we are having a group all the company will engage, there will be insurance. Okay, so insurance for all the operations. So insurance parties are ensuring there is a third party verification prior to this operation, which is called marine warranty surveys. So that is the one I forgot. It's good that you highlighted that point. That is one of the best area we can position ourselves, get a job opportunity, where their part is to verify and approve the procedures to do this load out, transportation and installation activities. So their scope start from the moment the cargo leaves the quay wall. So once it leaves and got into the barge, the MWS scope will start till the safe installation. So they are the parties as our ship means our surveyors, IRS and LR. Similar way, MWS will take care of this part. So for your information, prior to the loadout, the marine warranty surveyor will certify and issue a certificate for loadout after verifying all the setup and the preparatory work is carried out in line with the procedure and the method statement. So that is one part. And similar way, they will issue a certificate after verifying all the tie down and sea fastening of the barge. They will issue a certificate which is called sail away certificate for the barge. Also issue a certificate prior to installation. So all these operations, their witness is there. It will be carried out MWS witness, and they are working behalf of a company and insurance provider.
Okay, thank you, sir.
One more question.
Yes, Pramod.
Namala ships design ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ you have a classification society and we have a guideline rules which we follow.
Yes, Pramod.
Yes, but the guideline or a rule which we should follow for the design of.
So is it, your question is what is about oil and gas?
Yeah, about oil and gas. Is there a rule that we should follow to design this, or we are just based on engineering principles only?
Definitely, there is a guideline which is called I would mention in the beginning the specifications. Okay, so and the standard working practices which will be there with the company, means the end user has all set of document, and that document contractually the contractor is obliged to follow. Means they should follow that minimum the procedure during the construction, during engineering, all the stages. So this is what the company inspector's role, whether it is being followed during the construction till the handover. So they will verify it's from their side, and that's what in the beginning I have told. The QC role is bridge between contractor construction team and the inspection team of the company. Okay, so definitely everything is that depends on the company. Most of the companies has got same like a class rule. There is all the specifications are there. For fabrication there is a specification, so material requisition there is a specification, and every process there is a specification, and it is available for the contractor to use. It's a control document, but it's available for the contractor with through the access control. In addition to that, there are international guidelines which is also followed for the loadout operations and other things. In addition to the means it is there is a third party insurance team comes into the picture. So there are international guidelines also to be followed, which is for example DNV guidelines are there for loadout, and which is I think if I remember it's all the GL guidelines. So both are available. Mathis Daniel guidelines are available. So there are various guidelines are available to follow, and it will be defined in the contract itself which guideline to be followed for the construction activities as well as the different operations during the course of EPCA contract. execution. Over to you, Pramod, or any other questions?
No, thanks.
Any more questions? Anybody? Ask question if anybody wants. Okay, Jovi, shall we wind up?
Yes, yes.
Are you sharing? Okay, Joby, thank you very much for this enlightening session. I'm sure all the students definitely benefited, and Pramod and myself also did a lot. So, starting with what you said initially, the video that you showed about the tortoise and the hare is a different perspective on the tortoise and the hare story, and a lot of learning from that as well. And starting with and sharing your personal experience and expertise in the APCI industry, especially focusing on the offshore industry, how you have been able to learn and sharing that experience of how to install the offshore platform. So that is probably a new learning for most of the students here. And it has also brought out a gap in what we are learning here and what we are going to do in the future in our professions. And although it is there in the syllabus here, there are very few people who are qualified or experienced to teach that. But what you have shown here in a few slides, you have been able to give a substantially good picture about the work they are likely to do in the future, and whether it would be something that they would like to do or would be challenging, and definitely it is a lot challenging. So, and thank you for sharing the light moments. Thank you, Pramod from Korea, our classmate again, joining for this and asking questions and keeping the interaction lively. So, on behalf of all the students here and the department, I would like to thank you for taking your time off. He has taken one day leave, especially for this. And let us all appreciate him with a round of applause.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Actually, giving an opportunity and mostly patiently listening. Also, I'm sure to see you again. Our Silver Jubilee, or earlier than that when I come over there. But it is really a good experience for me also. I never expected this much questions, and which helped me to brush up my old memories. Okay, so thanks a lot, and thank you, Pramod, joining and help me to ask questions and make me more good in explaining much better. Okay, thank you very much for all your joining here, and wish you all the best for your
yeah, there is a certificate or a token of gratitude certificate that the SNAS would like to offer to you, which is being now flashed on the screen.
Deepak,
Yeah.
Just a second. I just want to clarify, these questions are not prepaid. He did not give me the questions before. It was natural questions.
No, I'll have to give them some background to this. The background is that once in our batch, one of our classmates, which I shall not reveal, we were supposed to give a presentation, and he had already given a few chits to everybody in the class, not everybody, a few guys, and that this is the question that I needed to ask. And he asked the question, and very, stylishly he said, "Very good question," and then the person who asked the question also got surprised. He said, "You only told me to ask the question, and then you're telling me it's a fantastic question." So in our batch, whenever somebody asks a question, we always doubt that it is a planted question. So that's what he wanted to clarify that ഇത് പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ചോദ്യമല്ല, അവൻ ജെന്യൂൻ ആയിട്ട് ചോദിച്ചതാണ് അല്ലേ പ്രമോദ്?
Absolutely.
Pramod just got up now. Okay. So basically, your question was I didn't expect such a technical question from comparing with my time. Okay. So you are grown much beyond our time. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, I used to hear the seminar like this, and I never ask any questions. But your participation actually made this section very lively, and your questions was very technically sound questions, and I struggled a little bit to answer it, but from brushing up my memories or knowledge, but your questions really was a valid questions, and keep that habit of asking if you are not clear, or if you are clear also to understand more. Please keep asking. That is the only way we can learn, other than what we study in the college.
Yeah, and let me remind you that to take you back to your college days, it is 1 o'clock here. Everybody wants to go and have lunch. Just like this.
There is no much difference here also. I would like to ask you to leave
On behalf
immediately
of,
and go.
Joby and the 21st batch, I'd like to thank all the students to patiently be seated here, unlike how we were when we were students, to listen and ask questions and participate actively. So on behalf of 21st batch, I would like to thank all the students who have come here. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much for
So,
joining. Thank you, Pramod, for joining.
So, Joby, shall
Yes,
you
please
wind
go
up
on.
and then you can log off. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.